Let go and release. You know I really wanna be baby. Why is it? It is charging, is it not? I don't understand. Why is it? It is charging, is it not? I don't understand. Alright. Oh. Ball sex. I started the recording. I didn't. Oopsie. 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 Dat kan shift ease. Alright, no, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Quran in English. My name is Ahmad, and I'm happy to take you through the second section of Surat Al-Ankabut, the chapter of the spider. And we get into the wonderful story that we'll get into it as we get into it. What am I doing here? I am learning about the Quran, and I'm sharing my learning journey with you. If you like it, great. If you don't, okay. Alright. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We were talking about Abraham just before, as they tried to burn him in the fire. And then at the same time as Abraham, there was the Prophet Lut, which is, is a controversial topic. But here we go. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فآمن له لوط وقال إني مهاجر إلى ربي إنه هو العزيز الحكيم. So Lut believed in him, believed in Abraham, and he said, I am emigrating towards my Lord. And there's always this kind of concept that there are two directions in spirituality: towards God and away from God. And other philosophies might see this, instead of using the word God, if they don't have that concept, they'll see it as moving towards unity in the universe and everything coming together, and towards individualism and to yourself, and all that matters is you. So those are the two paths. So here the expression is, Lut said that he's immigrating towards God. And he says, to my God. He claims him as a God. Indeed, he is almighty and all-wise. ووهبنا له إسحاق ويعقوب وجعلنا في ذريته النبوة والكتاب وآتيناه أجره في الدنيا وإنه في الآخرة لمن الصالحين. And we blessed him, and here we're talking about Abraham again, because we blessed him with Isaac and Jacob. Those are the sons of Abraham. And we placed in his offspring prophethood and the book, and we gave him his reward in the world. Now here they put a footnote of the world through honorable mention, righteous family, etc. The family is more of a reward in the word and the world. He was also saved from people that tried to kill him. Yeah, it's more than just honorable mention. Because most of his honorable mention came after his passing. As it usually does. And indeed, he is in the hereafter from the ones who are righteous. لمن الصالحين. Alright. Here we go. ولوطا إذ قال لقومه إنكم لتأتون الفاحشة ما سبقكم بها من أحد من العالمين. And Lut, when he came to his people, and he said, you are committing an immoral sin, a grave sin, that has not proceeded before you anyone from the world. Nobody before you in this world has ever done this sin. You're the first, congratulations. أئنكم لتأتون الرجال وتقطعون السبيل وتأتون في ناديكم المنكر فما كان جواب قومه إلا أن قالوا ائتنا بعذاب الله إن كنت من الصادقين. indeed you approach men. Now here it doesn't say you lust after men, but we have covered this specific topic so many times on this channel, and the word lust is used so many other places. إنكم لتأتون الرجال من الشهوة. لتأتون الرجال is what we see here, and in other verses many times it says من الشهوة, of lust, of desire. So you approach men of lust and desire, which again we've covered many times on this channel. Sounds like homosexuality, doesn't it? But you'll see who these verses talk about is singled out as a person. And another one of their sins is وَتَقْطَعُونَ السَّبِيلِ, and you cut off the road. Is the wayfarer is an expression that we've used in this channel before. The wayfarer is the person who's traveling and needs some help. And a person who's traveling and needs some help needs to be taken care of by the people that host him. And so there's a kind of concept of giving to those who travel and taking care of them. And here, when they're saying وَتَقْطَعُونَ, and you cut off the road, they mean you cut off the person who's traveling the road. You cut off their means, you cut off their access. There's no hospitality. It's a hospitality sin, for example. وَتَأْتُونَ فِي نَادِيكُمُ الْمُنْكَرِ, and you approach, commit in your meetings, in your, I want to say clubs. It's kind of dumb because it's not the word clubs. Nadi is a club, which I think is kind of where the word comes from, right? It's a gathering of people. I might be making a huge mistake, but in where the places that they gathered, they commit al-munkar. Evil is not the right word. Munkar is that which is denied. Al-munkar, the denier, meaning you do what you shouldn't be doing in those, like, and the way that I see it is, if we are talking about sex, there is a sense of privacy when it comes to sex. And this is a lesson that I've been trying to learn over my time, like where the issue lies with homosexuality, with the concept of pride, with the concept of immorality. Is there a line? Is there not a line? Does that mean everything should be allowed? Does it mean some things should not be allowed? What is that line? And I think here it's talking about public sex. I think. Because it's in the gatherings, they're approaching that which should be denied. That which should be hidden. Maybe? Yeah. I don't know. I'm contemplating over these verses a lot. But anyway, approaching men with lust. Does it mean homosexuality? Well, let's see what the verses talk about the most. But before we get there, first we say, فَمَا كَانَ جَوَابَ قَوْمِهِ, and the answer of his people was not, except to say that, bring upon us the punishment of God if you are of the truthful. Dun dun dun. تستعجلون بالسيئة. They hasten the negative before the positive. Well, we know how the story ends. And if you don't know how the story ends, then you're going to find out in a few seconds. قال رب انصرني على القوم المفسدين. He said, my Lord, help me, save me, help me against the people that are corrupt. ولما جاءت رسلنا إبراهيم بالبشرى قالوا إنا مهلكو أهل هذه القرية إن أهلها كانوا ظالمين. So when it came our messengers, when the messenger, again, doesn't say the word angels, but we do understand them to be angels. When came our messengers to Abraham with good tidings, the good tidings of the birth of Isaac, true. They said, indeed, we are going to destroy the people of this town. Indeed, its people were wrongdoers. Now they're talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. How do we know that we're talking about Sodom and Gomorrah? Because Abraham says, قال إن فيها لوطا قالوا نحن أعلم بمن فيها لننجينه وأهله إلا امرأته كانت من الغابرين. They said, so Abraham said, in it is Lut. You can't destroy that village because it's in Lut's village. That's why we know it's Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah is Lut. So Abraham said, you can't destroy the village. Lut's in it, and Lut's a good man. So they replied, again, we believe them to be messenger angels because they also have a lot of knowledge like this. They said, we know better about who is in it. We know better who's in it. We will surely save him and his family, except his wife, his woman. She will be from those who are remaining behind. And I translated the word Ghabirin. Yeah, it's from the past. Like I always say that they will be turned to dust. And there is an element of dust within those who are remain behind, those who will be in the past, those who will be left behind, those who will be turned to dust. Like there's a concept of, the past you think of when you think of dust. When dust accumulates, the past has been around, which is interesting. Interesting that everything turns to dust. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So what did they say? They mentioned that his wife, his woman, will be the ones left behind. One mention of this. ولما أن جاءت رسلنا Why is it using the female tense? ولما أن جاءت رسلنا. Yeah, that's probably something about the Arabic language that I don't understand. Because why isn't it جاء ولما جاء ولما أن جاء رسلنا? Why is it جاءت? ولما أن جاءت رسلنا لوطا سيء بهم وضاق بهم ذرعا وقالوا لا تخف ولا تحزن إنا منجوك وأهلك إلا امرأتك كانت من الغابرين. So when our messengers came to Lut, he was distressed by them, and he felt strained by them and uneasy. So they said, do not be afraid and do not be sad. Indeed, we are saving you and your family, except your woman, your wife. She will be one of the ones who remain behind and turn to dust. That's twice that we've mentioned the wife and the woman. How can her sin be lusting over men? How is that homosexuality? I don't know. Came in the form of handsome men. That's in a different verse. We're not going to cover it now. إنا منزلون على أهل هذه القرية رجزا من السماء بما كانوا يفسقون. Indeed, we are bringing down upon the people of this village, this town, a punishment from the sky because of what they used to be defiantly disobedient, because of their rebelliousness. Pretty clear. وَلَقَدْ تَرَكْنَا مِنْهَا آيَةً بَيِّنَةٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْقِلُونَ. Really, we have left from it a sign that is clear evidence for people who use reason. وإلى مدين أخاهم شعيبا فقال يا قوم اعبدوا الله وارجوا اليوم الآخرة ولا تعثوا في الأرض مفسدين. And now we go back to Midian and Shu'aib. And to Midian. Isn't that where the Moses went? Yeah, that is where Moses went. Moses went to Midian as well. Was Moses before or after Shu'aib? I don't know. And to Midian, their brother Shu'aib, he said to his people, worship God and expect and hope for the reward of the last day. Here they said hope. وَرْجُوا الْيَوْمَ الْآخِرِ. expect hope for the final day and hope for the reward of the last day. And do not commit evil in the earth as corruptors. Don't go about spreading corruption in the land. فكذبوه فأخذتهم الرجفة فأصبحوا في دارهم جاثمين. So they denied him, so the earthquake seized them, so they became in their homes, fallen prone. They died in their homes. وعادا وثمود وقد تبين لكم من مساكنهم وزين لهم الشيطان أعمالهم فصدهم عن السبيل وكانوا مستبصرين. And Ad and Thamud, it become clear to you from their dwellings. Ad and Thamud met a similar fate, which has become clear to you from their dwellings. Doesn't say which has become clear to you. وَقَدْ تَبَيَّنَ لَكُمْ, which has become clear to you from their dwellings. Ad and Thamud, you can kind of see their dwellings. One of them was in the city, and one of them was, I don't know. وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانِ, and the devil made it seem good to them, their deeds, made their deeds seem pretty to them and good to them, so he averted them from the path. Now, this is a word that we've covered before. قَطْعَ السَّبِيل. So maybe they were not only denying the way traveler, but denying people who are trying to go towards God. Because we talked about the directions of towards God and away from God. And it sounds like the people of Sodom and Gomorrah were denying people from going towards God. There's a difference between not believing yourself and then forcing somebody else to not believe, or getting in the way of somebody else's faith. And I think that makes more sense than the traveling, but it could be both. It could be either. And they وَكَانُوا مُسْتَبْصِرِينَ, although they were capable of reasoning. The devil made their deeds appealing to them, hindering them from the right way, although they were capable of reasoning, although they were endowed with insight. So they could see what the right path was, but the devil got him. He got him, girl. How is anyone supposed to beat the devil? It's hard. Everybody who thinks that they're better than the devil, you're already committing arrogance, and that's how he's going to get you. You have to know what your shadow is in order to resist it. It's not easy. That's why we pray. Hey. We're going to cover it in these verses. وَقَارُونَ وَفِرْعَوْنَ وَهَامَانَ وَلَقَدْ جَاءَهُمْ مُوسَى بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ فَاسْتَكْبَرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَمَا كَانُوا سَابِقِينَ. And Qarun, and the Pharaoh, and Haman. Korah, Pharaoh, and Haman. Korah we've just covered recently. وَلَقَدْ جَاءَهُمْ مُوسَى بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ. And Moses came to them with clear evidences, but they were arrogant. I just mentioned arrogance, and there it is. But they were arrogant in the earth, and they وَمَا كَانُوا سَابِقِينَ. And they could not outrun us or escape us, run faster than us. You cannot escape your doom. فَكُلًّا أَخَذْنَا بِذَنْبِهِ فمنهم من أرسلنا عليه حاصبا ومنهم من أخذته الصيحة ومنهم من خسفنا به الأرض ومنهم من أغرقنا وما كان الله ليظلمهم ولكن كانوا أنفسهم يظلمون. And each we have taken for their sins. So from them we sent. Some of them we sent to them a violent storm, and some of them was seized by the awful cry. What is that? Why is that so familiar? It's Sindel from Mortal Kombat, the movie, where she screamed and she kind of destroyed entire mountains. That scream is just... There's something about, by the way, sound. And it's hard to put my finger on it, but there seems to be something very powerful about sound, about being able to project voice, air. Sound can be healing, but sound can also be destructive. It's kind of amazing. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ خَسَفْنَا بِهِ الْأَرْضَ وَمِنْ and from them we caused the earth to swallow them, and from them we drowned. The Pharaoh we drowned. I couldn't tell you specifically which basin was which. The only people that we know that drowned are Pharaoh, because they followed Moses into the sea. And it was not for God to wrong them, but it was themselves that they had wronged. Yeah, we've seen these stories many times, and this is kind of like summarizing a lot of them. مثل الذين اتخذوا من دون الله أولياء كمثل العنكبوت مثل الذين اتخذوا من دون الله أولياء كمثل العنكبوت اتخذت بيتا وإن أوهن البيوت لبيت العنكبوت لو كانوا يعلمون. Wait, Ankabut's female? My Arabic is not that good, clearly. And finally we get to the reason why this chapter is called the spider. The example of those who take from besides God any protectors, whether it's money, fame, other deities, whatever they believe that is going to protect them. Oh, if I just collect enough money, I will be secure. You're not secure. Nobody's secure. It's like a spider that has taken a house. And the weakest of houses is the house of the spider, because it's literally just destroyed at the. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? If only they knew. So here we see the example. The example of someone who believes in anything other than God as a way of protection, as a way of survival, has built a webbed house. And that webbed house can be destroyed very easily. Externally, the web is too flimsy to protect the spider against rain and strong wind. Internally, the spider's family structure is fragile, so some species are cannibalistic, with the female preying on the male and the young eating their own mother. Okay, this is too much. Just simply, the web is too flimsy to protect the spider against rain and strong wind. That's the example. Internally, bro, they're talking about the spider's house. They're talking about the house as a framework, an internal structure of like. Spiders are kind of solitary creatures. Anyway, let's not get into it. I don't want to get into it. إن الله يعلم ما يدعون من دونه من شيء وهو العزيز الحكيم. Maybe it's right, by the way. I don't mean to be arrogant, but my brain struggles. Indeed, God knows what they invoke from besides him from anything, and he is the Almighty and All-Wise. وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس وما يعقلها إلا العالمون. And these examples we set forth for people, and nobody understands them except the people of knowledge, which is a very interesting expression. Because what does it mean to be the people of knowledge? If you understand these verses, does that mean... Yeah, so like telling somebody that having faith, believing in something else to protect you other than God is like having a house of a spider. Unless you know, to some extent, what God means and what the statement behind it is and why you need to believe in God and not believe in money, fame, power, other deities. If you don't know that example won't make sense to you. You really need to believe. Is it know or is it believe? You really need to know that God is the answer and God's right. For me, I needed to believe. I knew it before, but knowledge without belief is not active. Technically, they can know what you're talking about, but if they don't believe in what you're talking about, then the knowledge is not really impactful. The knowledge being that God offers guidance, structure, protection, true worth, and the way to get it out of this experience. Not out of this experience, the way to succeed this experience. The way to make your life successful versus unsuccessful is God. Everything else is just temporary. So non-believers could know this, but if they don't believe in it, the knowledge isn't active. Well, once they believe in it, then the knowledge becomes active. Therefore, we can say, accept the knowledgeable. Interesting. خلق الله السماوات والأرض بالحق إن في ذلك لآية للمؤمنين. God has created the heavens and the earth in truth, and in that is a sign for the believers. أتلو ما أوحي إليك من الكتاب وأقم الصلاة إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. Yeah, this is the last verse for today, and it's a very beautiful verse. Recite what has been revealed to you from the book, and establish prayer. Indeed, prayer prevents from immorality and al-munkar, that which should be denied. I don't know if you've ever met a gay Muslim that prays, but I have. That's not to say, that is to say, I was about to say, that's not to say that, just because they pray doesn't mean that they're not committing immorality or sin. But, indeed, prayer prevents immorality and sin. And I have noticed this. And there was one kind of statement that I was heading towards. When I started praying, I felt like I was becoming more homophobic at one point. And in some elements, that was true. But what I was becoming homophobic towards, I was misconstruing it towards homophobia in the sense of anti-gay. But I was recognizing that feeling when I was seeing immorality, when I was seeing public displays of sex, overtness, crossing the lines and crossing the boundaries. It wasn't that they were gay, it was that they were flaunting sexuality. But I confused it in the beginning to thinking it was homophobia, to thinking that was the problem. And that, I was like, oh, what? Religion's making me more homophobic and prayer is making me more homophobic. And I think there's a fine line. There's a way to go, okay, this thing that you're doing, I don't like. But that doesn't mean I don't like you, and I think that in loving relationships it can make much more sense and healthy and hopeful. It's just the transgression of decency that it becomes a problem. But the transgression of decency, not because it's gay, but because it's transgression of decency. If straight people were to do the same thing, I would have the same problem. You know? But, yeah. Anyway. It's interesting. But prayer, as long as, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Very interesting. I kind of love it. I'm happy with where I'm at with all of it. And the remembrance or the mention of God is greatest. Allahu Akbar. Wallahu ya'lamu bima tasna'un. And God knows what you do. Yeah, beautiful. I keep getting worried whenever we're covering the topic of Lut, because I keep thinking, it's gonna make me. Is this gonna be the time that I'm gonna go gay is wrong? I I genuinely don't think that being attracted to a person of the same gender is what the Quran is referring to. But transgressing, I think it is. I do believe that people of the gay community transgress. I do believe people of the straight community transgress. I believe either can be held accountable, but I don't necessarily see it. Anyway, that's it for today. Sadaqallah al-Ali al-Azim. I appreciate you for watching me. I'm happy with where I'm at with all of it. Yeah. Thanks. See you guys tomorrow. Ma salama. Bye.